Welcome to Movie Bites. Today, we're stepping into the streets of South Central Los Angeles to revisit the 1991 classic, Boyz n the Hood. This film became a powerful snapshot of life in the hood, blending deep storytelling with unforgettable performances. We'll take a look at the real names and ages of the legendary cast like Trey, Doughboy, Ricky, and more, and see how they've evolved both on and off screen since their roles became iconic. Trey Styles, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., is the heart and soul of Boyz n the Hood, the 1991 classic that hit audiences like a gut punch and never let go. Growing up in South Central Los Angeles, under the guidance of his no-nonsense but loving father, Ferris Styles, Trey is constantly walking a tightrope. On one side, there's the violence and chaos of the streets, and on the other, the future his father is pushing him toward. Trey is smart, ambitious, and has a good head on his shoulders. But that doesn't mean he's immune to temptation, or the pain that comes with simply being young and black in a dangerous world. His story, filled with love, loss, and the struggle to do the right thing, feels real. Because for so many, it is real. Cuba Gooding Jr. was 23 when he stepped into Trey's shoes, delivering a performance so raw and authentic that it put him on the map. He perfectly captured that mix of teenage frustration, fear, and hope, making Trey one of the most relatable characters in the film. Now 57, Gooding, born on January 2nd, 1968, went on to become a major Hollywood name, winning an Oscar for Jerry Maguire, 1996. He's also taken on powerful roles in Men of Honor, 2000, Radio, 2003, and The People vs. O.J. Simpson, 2016, where he played the fallen football legend. While his career has seen its share of ups and downs, there's no denying the impact he made, especially with Boyz n the Hood, a film that still hits just as hard today as it did back in '91. Doughboy, played by Ice Cube, is the heart and tragedy of Boyz n the Hood. Unlike his childhood friend Trey, Doughboy never really gets a chance to escape the streets. He's tough, fiercely loyal, and carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, knowing deep down that the system and the streets were never built for him to win. He moves with confidence, but there's always an underlying pain in his eyes, a quiet understanding that his fate has already been written. His story is one of survival, but also one of inevitability, making him one of the most unforgettable characters in the film. Ice Cube was just 21 when he stepped into the role, but you'd never guess this was his first acting gig. Coming off his success as a founding member of NWA, Cube brought an authenticity to Doughboy that no one else could. His performance was effortless, because in many ways, he wasn't just playing a character, he was showing the world a reality he had lived and rapped about. Now, 54, Ice Cube, born on June 15, 1969, went on to build one of the most successful careers in entertainment. He became a Hollywood powerhouse, starring in everything from gritty dramas like Higher Learning, 1995, to legendary comedies like Friday, 1995, and Barbershop, 2002. On top of that, he never left music behind, continuing to drop albums and cement his status as a hip-hop icon. Whether it's on the mic or the big screen, Cube has spent decades telling stories that matter, and it all started with Boyz n the Hood, where he gave us a character we'll never forget. Ricky Baker, played by Chestnut, is the heart of Boyz n the Hood. As Trey's best friend and a dreamer with aspirations of escaping the cycle of violence around him, Ricky is a symbol of hope and ambition. He's a talented athlete with the potential to go far, but the dangerous streets are always lurking, threatening to take everything away. Ricky's struggle to find a way out while protecting his future and those he loves is at the core of the film's emotional power. His tragic fate is a painful reminder of how the system can crush even the most promising young people. And it hits hard because Ricky feels like someone you've known, someone you root for. Chestnut was 22 when he brought Ricky to life, and his performance was heartfelt and genuine, capturing the innocence and vulnerability of a young man trying to make it out of a tough situation. Chestnut's portrayal of Ricky made him a standout in Boyz n the Hood, and it established him as one of Hollywood's leading actors. Now 55, Chestnut, born on January 1st, 1969, has gone on to build a successful career with roles in films like The Best Man, 1999, The Perfect Holiday, 2007, and Think Like a Man, 2012. He's also been a consistent presence on TV with shows like V, 2009 to 2011, The Resident, and Rosewood, 2015 to 2017. Through his career, Chestnut has been known for bringing warmth, depth, and a relatable charm to every role. And while he's played a wide variety of characters, for many, he'll always be Ricky, a symbol of both potential and the harsh reality of life in a community where dreams are often cut short. Mrs. Baker, played by Tyra Farrell, is a quiet yet powerful presence in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, a mother who is doing everything she can to protect her sons from the harsh realities of life in South Central Los Angeles. As the mother of Ricky and Doughboy, Mrs. Baker represents the love, sacrifice, and hope of a parent trying to shield her children from a world that seems determined to pull them in the wrong direction. Despite the chaos around her, she holds on to the belief that there's a way out, even if that means pushing her kids to strive for something better. Tyra Farrell brought a unique depth to the role, showing the complexity of being a mother in such a tough environment. Mrs. Baker isn't just a supporting character. She's a symbol of the strength that so many mothers in similar circumstances have to find every day. Farrell's portrayal of a woman who loves deeply, worries constantly, and fights for her family feels both real and heartbreaking, particularly in her scenes with Ricky, where her nurturing side is in full force. Now 63, Tyra Farrell has built a diverse career appearing in films like White Men Can't Jump, 1992, and Poetic Justice, 1993. Over the years, she's continued to shine in both film and television, always bringing that quiet strength and relatability to her characters. While Mrs. Baker wasn't the lead in Boyz n the Hood, Farrell's performance left a lasting impression, proving that sometimes the quietest characters carry the most weight. Reva Styles, played by Laurence Fishburne, is the wise and powerful backbone of Boyz n the Hood. As Trey's father, Furious is a man who believes in discipline, self-respect, and most of all, making sure his son doesn't fall victim to the harsh reality of the streets. He's tough, no doubt, but there's a deep well of love and concern behind every lesson he teaches Trey. Furious represents the strength and wisdom of the black father figure, always trying to steer his son in the right direction, even when the world around them is doing its best to pull them apart. His speeches about self-worth and responsibility are powerful, and they resonate long after the film ends. Laurence Fishburne was 29 when he took on the role of Furious, and his performance was magnetic. He brought an authenticity and authority to the character that made him unforgettable. Whether he was delivering a life-changing lecture to Trey or confronting the realities of life in a tough neighborhood, Fishburne's presence was commanding and full of heart. Now 63, Fishburne, born on July 30th, 1961, has built a legendary career across film, TV, and theater. From his role as Morpheus in the Matrix series, to his unforgettable turn in Apocalypse Now, 1979, Fishburne's talent has always been undeniable. He's also starred in Hannibal, The Code, 2019, and Blackish, where he earned critical acclaim for his portrayal of Pops. Fishburne's career has been defined by a rare combination of power, depth, and versatility, and like Reva Styles, he's become a force in Hollywood that demands respect. Reva Styles, played by Angela Bassett, is a strong and determined mother in Boyz n the Hood. As Trey's mom, Reva is fiercely protective of her son, trying to shield him from the dangers of the streets, while also navigating the complexities of raising him as a single parent. Her relationship with Trey's father, Furious, adds another layer to her character. She's caught between wanting to give her son freedom and making sure he stays on the right path. Bassett brings a depth to Reva, showing her vulnerability as a mother who wants the best for Trey, but also her strength in facing the challenges of life in a neighborhood that offers little hope. At 32, Bassett's performance as Reva was already a standout. She brought a combination of warmth and determination to the role, making Reva both relatable and inspiring. The character's love for her son is clear, but it's also evident that Reva is a woman who knows what it takes to survive and push forward in difficult circumstances. Now 66, Bassett, born on August 16, 1958, has become one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. From her iconic portrayal of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It, 1993, to her powerful roles in American Horror Story and 911, Bassett's career continues to showcase her incredible range and enduring presence in film and television. Brandy, played by Nia Long, brings a special kind of warmth and strength to Boyz n the Hood. As Trey's girlfriend, Brandy is smart, grounded, and dreams of a future beyond the tough streets around her. She's not just there as a love interest. Brandy represents the hopes and resilience of young black women trying to navigate their own futures while dealing with the challenges of their environment. Her relationship with Trey is sweet, but also complicated by the realities of the world they live in, where dreams don't always come easy. Nia Long was 20 when she played Brandy, and she brought an effortless charm and depth to the role. She gave Brandy a sense of independence and wisdom beyond her years, making her not just a love interest, but a real person with her own dreams and struggles. Now 54, Long, born on October 30th, 1970, has become one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses. After Boyz n the Hood, she went on to star in Love Jones, 1997, The Best Man, 1999, and Big Mama's House, 2000, and built a strong TV career with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and NCIS Los Angeles. Through it all, Long's natural charisma and relatable presence have kept her at the top of her game. And for many, Brandy will always be that real, down-to-earth woman who was more than just a love story. She was a symbol of hope. Regina King plays Shalika in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, a character who, while not the central focus of the story, plays an important role in grounding the film's emotional core. Shalika is the girlfriend of Doughboy, and her presence in his life adds a bit of tenderness to his otherwise rough exterior. She's part of the world that Doughboy and his friends, Lil Chris, Monster, Trey, and Dookie, navigate, and her connection with him serves as a reminder that even in the midst of the chaos of South Central Los Angeles, there are real relationships and human moments. Even though her role is relatively minor, Regina King's performance brings a subtle yet significant emotional depth. You can feel the love and care she shows for Doughboy, and her brief scenes with him help us understand the stakes for him and his crew. At the time, Regina was still in her early 20s, but even then, you could tell she had something special. Her ability to shine even in a smaller role was a sign of the incredible career that was to come. Since Boyz n the Hood, Regina King has become one of Hollywood's most respected and versatile actresses. From her memorable roles in Ray, 2004, and If Beale Street Could Talk, 2018, to her groundbreaking work as a director in One Night in Miami, 2020, she's proven time and again that she's much more than just a great actress. She's a force in the industry. At 54, King's journey is still going strong, and her role as Shalika remains a piece of the puzzle that helped shape her remarkable career. Lil Chris, played by Reggie Green, might not have had a huge amount of screen time in Boyz n the Hood, but his presence was unforgettable. As Doughboy's friend, Chris is stuck in a wheelchair, a constant reminder of the harsh realities that come with growing up in South Central. His story is heartbreaking. He became a paraplegic after a shooting when he was just 6 years old, a victim of gun violence that took away his mobility, but not his spirit. His character in the film adds depth to the story, showing how violence doesn't just claim lives, it alters everything about the person left behind. Reggie Green, who was 23 when he played Lil Chris, knew that pain all too well. Just like his character, Green was shot as a child and has lived as a paraplegic since he was 6. That real-life experience gave him an authenticity that made his portrayal of Lil Chris feel so raw and real. He didn't just play the role, he was the role. Now 56, Green has taken his past and turned it into something powerful. He's not just an actor, he's also a motivational speaker, using his own story of resilience to inspire others. Despite the struggles he's faced, he continues to show that life can go on in unexpected and beautiful ways, proving that your circumstances don't define you. Dookie is the childish yet unforgettable figure in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, rocking a pacifier, always posted up, and bringing that carefree vibe to a world that's anything but. He's the friend who never takes life too seriously, but his silence often says more than his words. Through Dookie, we see how humor, style, and survival blend together when you grow up where danger is always around the corner. Dedrick Gobert brought Dookie to life with a performance that felt real and effortless. Beneath the jokes and the laid-back attitude, there was something deeper. A young man masking the harsh reality of life on the streets. His character wasn't just there for comic relief. He was a reflection of the kids who cope with chaos by staying numb, hoping laughter will drown out the violence. But sometimes, life is even harsher than the movies. In 1994, Dedrick Gobert's life was tragically cut short. He was just 22 years old when he was killed in a gang-related shooting, a chilling, real-world echo of the violence depicted in Boyz n the Hood. Despite his short career, Gobert left his mark. He reunited with John Singleton in Poetic Justice, 1993, continuing to bring authenticity and heart to the screen. His performances, though brief, were raw and unforgettable, reminding us that some characters, and the people behind them, leave an impact far greater than their screen time. Dookie may have been the quiet one, but Dedrick Gobert's presence spoke volumes. Ferris, played by Raymond D. Turner, is a character you don't forget in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, even though his screen time is brief. As a member of the Crenshaw Mafia gangsters, Ferris is caught up in the very chaos and violence that define life in South Central Los Angeles. He's the kind of guy you don't want to mess with. Cold, quick to pull the trigger, and willing to let nothing stand in his way. Ferris is responsible for the moment that changes everything for Ricky. A reminder of how fragile life is when the streets are all you know. Raymond D. Turner, who was in his early 30s at the time, brought a tough but understated presence to the role. His portrayal of Ferris is all about restraint. His character doesn't need to be loud or show off to make an impact. Ferris is a product of his environment, hardened by the streets, but not without a sense of loyalty to the life he's chosen. Turner's career didn't go as far as some of his Boyz n the Hood co-stars, but his role as Ferris remains iconic. After the film, Turner appeared in Coming to America, 1988, and ER, 1994, though it was his portrayal of Ferris that stayed with audiences the longest. Sadly, Raymond D. Turner passed away on February 15, 2024, at the age of 63. His role as Ferris is a powerful piece of Boyz n the Hood's legacy, a film that still holds up and continues to speak to the struggles of growing up in a place where every decision could be your last. Lloyd Avery II plays the role of a knucklehead in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, a character responsible for shooting and tragically ending Ricky's life. His portrayal of this ruthless figure is both chilling and unforgettable, capturing the sheer unpredictability and violence of gang life. Avery's character is the kind of guy you definitely didn't want to mess with, cold, calculating, and always ready to escalate a situation. His performance is raw, bringing a menacing energy that stands out even in the film's intense world of gang warfare and tragic loss. After Boyz n the Hood, Avery's life took a dark turn. His promising career quickly faded, and in 1999, he was arrested for a double homicide. He was sentenced to life in prison, where he eventually met his tragic end. On September 4, 2005, at the age of 36, Lloyd Avery II was murdered by his cellmate in what was described as a satanic ritual, a bizarre and unsettling end to a life that had been marked by both promise and violence. Though his career was short-lived, Avery's portrayal of the menacing knucklehead in Boyz n the Hood remains an iconic part of the film, a stark reminder of the harsh reality of gang violence and the ways in which the streets can shape a person's life. Chenise, portrayed by Elysia Rogers in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, represents a quiet but powerful force in the film. As Ricky's girlfriend and the mother of his child, she offers a sense of hope and love in a world filled with violence. Chenise's dreams are simple: raising a family, building a future. But that all comes crashing down when Ricky is senselessly killed. The pain she feels after his death is heartbreaking. Losing the love of your life is one thing, but having to raise their child without him is a loss so deep that it's hard to fully grasp. Alicia Rogers was just 16 years old when she portrayed Chenise, bringing an authenticity to the role that made her grief feel real and raw. Although her screen time was brief, her character's strength in the face of tragedy spoke volumes. Chenise wasn't just mourning Ricky. She was faced with the heavy reality of navigating life without him, trying to protect her child while processing the kind of grief that shakes you to your core. Now, 49, Alicia Rogers has mostly stayed out of the spotlight, but her portrayal of Chenise remains one of the most poignant in Boyz n the Hood. Her role reminds us that the pain of losing someone to violence doesn't just affect the individual, it affects families, and those left behind have to find a way to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Desi Arnaz Hines II, as young Trey in Boyz n the Hood 1991, brings a quiet yet powerful energy to the film, showing the innocence and curiosity of a young boy beginning to understand the harsh world around him. Trey's journey in the movie is marked by his close relationship with his father, Ferris Styles, and his desire to rise above the violence and tension that surrounds him. Hines, at just 10 years old, portrayed Trey's natural curiosity and subtle growth with sincerity, laying the emotional groundwork for Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character later in the film. Trey's innocence is balanced by the awareness that starts to creep in, the awareness of how dangerous and unpredictable the world can be. Hines doesn't force any of these moments, but lets them play out with a childlike honesty that makes them feel real. His role may have been brief, but it was essential in setting the stage for the struggles and choices that Trey will face as he grows up in South Central Los Angeles. After Boyz n the Hood, Desi Arnaz Hines II, born on January 21, 1980, took a step away from acting and now lives a private life away from the spotlight. At 45 years old, Hines has chosen a path outside of Hollywood, embracing a life away from the public eye. His portrayal of young Trey will always be remembered as a key part of the film's emotional foundation. Baja Jackson, born June 12, 1978, is best known for his role as young Doughboy in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, where he gave us a glimpse into the tough early years of a character who would go on to be a key part of the film's emotional core. As the 10-year-old version of Doughboy, Baja captures the innocence and vulnerability of a young boy surrounded by the violence and hardship of South Central Los Angeles. His portrayal is raw and real, showing how the environment begins to shape Doughboy's path from an early age. Though his screen time is brief, Jackson's performance adds a lot of weight to the story, reminding us that the harsh realities of life are often felt long before adulthood. After Boyz n the Hood, Baja appeared in a few other films, including Poetic Justice, 1993, and Three Ninjas, 1992, but it was clear his journey in Hollywood wasn't going to last forever. Instead, he transitioned into the culinary world, where he found a new passion. Now, as a chef, Jackson shares his culinary creations and personal experiences on social media, connecting with followers who appreciate his talent in the kitchen. While his acting career was brief, Baja Jackson's role in Boyz n the Hood remains an unforgettable part of the film's legacy. And that's a wrap on our look back at Boyz n the Hood. This film remains a classic, not just for its powerful storytelling, but for the incredible performances that brought it to life. The cast has come a long way since 1991, but their impact on cinema and culture is undeniable. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more throwback content, and let us know in the comments, what's your favorite moment from Boyz n the Hood? Thanks for watching Movie Bites, and we'll catch you in the next one.